My name is Kelly Osmak, and I'm from Regina, Saskatchewan. I'm a Ted.Thomas student. Have been for approximately, it'll be about a year and a half now. And Ted asked me to do a follow-up on some of the deals that I have done. Okay, the first property I bought was in Riverside County in Riverside, California. It was a undeveloped residential lot. I bought it for $35,300 and I sold it for $55,000 in less than a month. And I also received a little bonus because of the Canadian dollar of $6,000 on the exchange. The second property I purchased was in Kitsap County in Kingston, Washington. It's a 5-acre manufactured house with a barn. I purchased it for $130,200. I put in approximately $25,000 in renovations, so I'm at about $155,000. I had it listed on a Monday, and Thursday I had a full price offer of $280,000. The third property I just purchased in May for $177,200. It's another one in Riverside County in Desert Hot Springs near Palm Springs. It's a 5-acre parcel with a 3,000 square foot cedar log home, a separate made 900 square foot maid's quarters, barns, you know, whatever. Lots of stuff out there. It's so I paid $177,200. I don't have title yet, so I don't have an evaluation on it yet. But the last time it was listed in 2011 for $798,000. Ted was in Canada for something else, and they were running another promotion to buy this home package. I think it was in December of 2013 or November of 2013. So yeah, I jumped on it right away, went in, got the package, started studying like crazy, you know, watching all the videos, going through all the manuals, emailing, asking questions, you know, all this stuff. And then when the opportunity to go to the live presentation came up, I took my buddy here from town, because he's into real estate as well, and said, let's go to Phoenix. We got to go check this Ted guy out, right? I think the online videos and the books, you can only extract so much from them. You know, I knew it was something that I wanted to do, and that's kind of why we made the commitment to go to Phoenix, right? I wanted to see the online event, or the in-person event is so much more interactive. You know, you sidebar with people. You've talked to people that, did you actually do this? You know, yeah, you know, I got this and I'm doing that. You know, this is the only time, I only had this much time to tell you about this story, but I've done, you know, this, and this, and this, right? And it's a good networking opportunity to see other people that have done this, and it gives you more confidence in your own ability to be able to go out and do this kind of stuff. Yeah. That's what you know, that was the icing on the cake, because it confirmed with real live bodies that this actually does happen. I don't know, there's something about Ted himself and his team that you get a feeling of belonging, you know, being part of his crew, and I don't know how to explain it. It's a genuine caring feeling that, you know, they're really concerned about your success. You know, Coach Crystal helped us, you know, just with some, you know, we took the advanced training and Coach Crystal walked us through a few things, and, you know, just simple things like keep a spreadsheet of, you know, comments of these properties, because when the auction hits, it's like, you know, after 450 properties, your head gets all mushy, and it's like, well, was this one, or was that one, or what was, you know? So yeah, she said, put a note column there, say, what did you think of this one? Little tips and the go forwardness, you know, just to go ahead and try it, you know, do your research. You know, they're very thorough with their material. They cover every little detail that you may not think of. And even the terminology between what Canadians and US people call things, it may not seem like a big deal, but it is. Like, and trying to walk through all the processes and the terminology some of the different counties use, that's a big thing, because they, even in the counties, they call something 3 different ways and it means the exact same thing. And then Coach Crystal was our mentor for the 6 weeks, and I think as soon as we finished the coaching with Coach Crystal is when I bought my first property. I really just went online, found out the location of this lot exactly, and looked for other properties that were for sale in the area and which realtors had properties for sale in that area. So obviously they were familiar with the location and values. So the realtor I had found, had other listings in the area, so he knew the area well, he knew exactly where it was, he knew, obviously he knew a buyer for it, or they came in, and yeah, that's what I basically just kind of did a research of the market area, found out what was, which realtors had listings.
And did you call them, email them?
I emailed their office saying, I have this lot and I'm looking for a realtor that wants to work with investors or knows contacts with developers, investors that would be interested in purchasing this lot. Mm-hmm. So they sent me back a name of a guy that was right in the immediate area, and he's the one that took care of this for me. Same thing with my second purchase in Washington. I found a realtor that was very close to the location and had listings in the area so that they would know the area well. I don't mind paying their commission. They're doing all my work for me. It's like, I'm fully on board with paying them their 6 or 5 or 6 or 7%, whatever it takes, because they're doing all the legwork. They're meeting with these clients. They're taking people out there. They're doing the paperwork. I just have to sign and take a few phone calls. That's all I have to do. He called me with the lot. It was about 3 weeks in. He called me, says he's got a developer that wants to buy your lot, and it would be an all-cash deal. I think we had it listed for 65, and he offered 50, and then we did the negotiation process, in paperwork and on the phone, and I think we arrived at a price of $55,000, all cash. Yeah. So, and basically the way the realtors work now, they use an online signing program, so I just have to go and click on a few boxes and complete the contracts, wait for my check. I remember that day quite well. I was in the house and was talking to him on the phone, and we were negotiating back and forth a little bit, and he said, yeah, they accepted your offer. It was like, ching, ching. Yeah, way to go, Ted. I believe there was the same amount, like there was in the 400s for properties. Again, I picked out my top 15, 20 properties, and then, kind of do the ones that I'm really interested in, kind of interested in, not a bad deal if it goes for a certain price, and then the no way list, right? So this one was in my top 10, I believe. And I was bidding on about 10 on that sale, and I just had a good feeling about this one because I believe it was listed. Well, it wasn't listed. It was valued around the 250 mark. So, I said, if I left myself $100,000 for a margin, I was prepared to go up to like $150,000 for this property. And that would leave me about $100,000 margin, more or less, take, some realtor fees and whatever else out of that one. So, I went in with my margin. That seems to be my margin that I am happy with. I don't know why, but that's a good, nice round number, those 6 figures, isn't it? So that was my margin. I looked at other properties in the 80,000 range. They were selling for 44,000, 46,000. So it's like, okay, well, it's not bad, but You know, there's different ranges. There was definitely a lot higher priced properties than this one. This one just looked like a solid property. It had a newer constructed barn on the property. You know, it's a manufactured home, 1,300 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, very typical, you know, family-oriented property on 5 acres, right? So I'm sure I was down to probably about 2 or 3 that I was bidding on. Some of them went out and you know, higher than I was willing to purchase them for, and I was kind of just narrowing it down. Then I focused in on this one and ended up with it. I believe it was assessed at around 256. Was what it was assessed at. And I was prepared to go up to 150-ish thousand on it. The opening bid was around 30,000. Depending on the interest in the property, you know, somebody bids 31,000, somebody bids 32,000. You know, it's just kind of a back and forth thing. You know, I'll put an amount in like 70,000. So people keep bidding up until it gets to my 70,000. Then I'll get outbid, right? So then it's just kind of a little back and forth. And with bid for assets, when you get down to the last 5 minutes, if someone bids, it adds an extra 5 minutes onto the end of the auction. So this could stretch out for hours. So, you know, if I'm at 124.5 and somebody bids 124.6, we add another 5 minutes on. So then you know,
5 minutes,
yeah, every 5 minutes, yeah. Yes, so, and it happens. I think this one probably extended the auction by about another 30 minutes, so it wasn't too bad. And you know, I already had my bid in for 150, so somebody would bid 131.3, and then it would add 5 more minutes, and then you're kind of waiting. It gets down to about 10 seconds, and somebody would add another $100 onto it. So my top price was 130,200. Well, that one actually was pretty good. It was about 30 days to receive title on that property, so I held it for 30 days. After that, we went in. My realtor went in. I got to use that term lightly because I didn't do anything. My realtor goes in, he took some pictures for me, said, you know, the carpet stain, you know, took some pictures, and I says, well, we did a little renovation. We painted the place, we put some new carpet in, mowed the grass outside, he cleaned all the garbage out of the barn. Well, he hired someone to clean the garbage out of the barn for me. We put a new roof on. It could use it, you know, and it made it move-in ready. Put new appliances down. I spent, okay, so I paid $130,200 for the property. I spent about $25,000 in renovations, so I'm in $155,000. We had it listed in, what's now June, May? I believe we had it listed in May. It came out on a Monday, and that Thursday, like 4 days later, we had a full price offer of $280,000. I'm not sure the renovation part would have been the best choice. I know it worked out okay. You know, I like, for example, with the roofers, you know, price ranges from, you know, $4,000 to $10,000 to do the same roof, right? Without being there, without being able to interview people. I had a roofer go there, you know, he was a mid-price guy, you know, 10-year, lifetime warranty on my work, all this blah, blah, blah. And my realtor goes out there and, you know, he wasn't doing a good job, so we had to, like, let him go, right? It's like, so I'm out the money that he had spent for, you know, materials and stuff like that, and basically we had to redo it again. So not being there, it makes it a little more challenging. Probably best practices is, which should be with any renovation, is, you know, get references, you know, deal with, you know, licensed companies. It'll cost you a little bit more, but in my case, it would have saved me a whole lot of time, aggravation, and money. So I had a bad experience with a roofer there, and that's just the way it goes. You know, the guy that did the interior was a, you know, renovation company. You know, he took longer than he should have, but everything was really done well. So I paid a little more, but that's the way it goes. I would think twice before doing the renovation again. Yeah, unless it's simple, you know, like a little bit of paint and clean up, yeah, but full on scale like this, probably not. Yeah, and it's just the time factor too, right? You have to carry it for that much more longer during the renovation period. My third deal was I went back to Riverside County. They had an auction online, of course. Never left my chair. You know, don't want to leave my chair. I believe there was about 460 properties listed in this sale, and there was a wide range. There was one house that was listed for 1.3, 1.4 million dollars in the sale, right down to your empty vacant lots, right? So there was quite a variety of decent houses, lots, high-end houses, you name it. Everything was in this sale. So again, I narrowed down my list. You know, I wanted that $1.4 million house, but it was a little bit out of my budget. So I made my list of my top 15, 20 properties. And then the ones not so great, and I started bidding. I bid probably on the top 10. I started bidding on, you know, and watched the auction go through. The one that I ended up purchasing was later in the sale, so I think, you know, like me, just, you know, with limited funds, like most of the people are at these auctions, you know, you find the one in the beginning of the sale, they buy it, and then they're done, right? So I was patiently waiting, going through the sale, waiting for these other ones, bidding on these other ones. You know, it seems like the bidding starts to slow down a little bit. And then this property was, there was like 15, 20 pages of properties. This was on the last third last page in the list. So it was around 140, and like I said, you know, with bid for assets, they add 5 more minutes every time someone bids. So I bid 140, and then I was getting down to the last minute, and somebody bids like 140, 100, right? So it adds 5 more minutes. So we back and forth this 140, 141, 142, 143, all the way up to 177, and it added at least probably an hour, maybe an hour and a half onto the auction, because for every time somebody bids, it adds that extra 5 minutes. And so I was topped out. My top bid was 177,777 and 77 cents. That's as high as I was going. That was the cap I put on myself for that property. So I ended up getting it for $177,200. So it was $577.77 for my max. On Zillow, it was listed for sale in 2011 for $798,000. I should be getting title very soon here, probably early to mid-July. I should have title, because the Riverside County has a 60 working day turnaround to get title. And it's got a 4-car garage, a 3-car carport, a 900 square foot mother-in-law or maid's quarters, and another outbuilding garage in the back. Okay, this is the house. Yeah. And there's the separate 3-car or 4-car carport, and down here is U.S. Steel work shed on 5 acres. I fully intend to use a realtor on this one again, just because I'm not there. There's no way I could show the property. Yeah. And we've got to make them work a little bit for their money. You know, he'll go in, we'll do an assessment of the inside, you know, arrange maybe for some cleaners or whatever is required, get it listed, and let him do their magic. I've done this all in Canada. Yeah. The only reason we go to the States is for holidays. I've never stepped foot on any of these properties. I've never seen them in person. Never met my realtor. There's no special skills involved at all. If you follow the training material, you understand the fundamentals about real estate, not overpay, you know, leave yourself a comfortable margin, Someone lived in that house or that property, or whatever piece of real estate you happen to buy, somebody will buy it again, right? And as long as you buy right, you definitely can sell it right. You know, you're going to make some money. Someone else is going to maybe save a few dollars on a property and get a great deal on a piece of property, and you move on to your next deal. I think you just need to get through that first one. Like it's a little intimidating to get through it, you know, the first time. Ted's got really good coaches that have been through it many times, and you can see the comfort in their level of comfort that they have in the process. Obviously, they're doing it. Tons and tons of students are doing it. There's never ever any shortage of properties. You know, you don't have to buy at every sale. That was thought. You know, the first sale I went to, I thought, oh, I got to buy this one. I'll buy this one. I got to buy this one. You don't have to do that. You just need to buy the one, the two, maybe the three, the four, a year. Like, you know, so you don't have to buy at every sale. You just pick whatever you're comfortable with. I haven't left my chair in my office. I have two monitors set up. I have a spreadsheet on one side that the county provides with all the properties listed. And on this side, I do all my research. So I Google the address, I do a Google Maps, I do a Zillow, whatever information I can find. Redfin's another good one. You know, I look at the properties. I think it's called Crime Stats. I go and check, because I'm not familiar with some of these areas. You know, it's like, you don't know what kind of market you're buying in when you're not there. So I go and, you know, you do the crime. You know, is it safe? Is it like scary? You know, like, because not being there, it's hard to manage that kind of stuff. So my theory is buy good properties in good areas. Yeah. That's, you know, you may make more money in the other areas because you can do more, but, you know, not being there, not knowing the areas, I like to stay safe. Yeah. I like bid for assets. That's easy for me to do. You know, I can do it all online. You know, I can do my deposits online. You know, wire them money, and do the research. There's tons of auctions going on. So I was just basically waiting for the next real estate cycle to start. So that kind of like September, October, November, kind of that's when they start going. And the Washington one, I believe, was in December. Yeah, December 2nd was that one, the Kitsap one. And I like Washington. I like the West Coast. I don't know why. It's just maybe because I'm closer to there. I have a feel what it's like. I don't know, but so yeah, there's been lots of sales since, and through. I'm still planning to go to a sale in person just to experience it, but it just hasn't. I'm still working my full-time day job too, so you know, the research probably takes me. I do it over like a 2-week period, kind of narrowing down the properties, and I have my spreadsheet. I highlight it different colors. You know, which ones I'm really excited about, which ones I'm kind of excited about, some that are not too bad, and the no way Jose list, you know, and that's, I kind of pare it down, and then when the auction comes, you know, I'll keep going through and checking the prices and see if I missed something. You know, if one's really high right off the get-go, you know, with a lot of interest in it, well, I might go look at that one again just to see what I missed, maybe, kind of thing. So now that Ted has his online auction calendar up on the website, yeah, that is the most convenient thing. It lists all the auctions, dates, so that it gives you time to look in the future, so you can be prepared for the next set of auctions or whatever's coming out, and then you can plan accordingly. You know, get your funds in place for these auctions, fill out whatever necessary paperwork they require, and then, you know, you go into the auction being prepared. You know, this is the real deal. It is. You know, I've looked at other marketing stuff. I've looked at other programs. You know, there's these guys that come in, talk about flipping houses and that. I've done all that. I know that it's not that easy. You know, that's a lot of work. You know, but this is the real deal. It's you know, it's time consuming in the fact that you have to do your research. You know, you got to know what you're buying. some communication with some realtors in your area, just to find out what's going on down there. A lot of these guys will even drive by the properties for you and kind of give you a synopsis of what they think, what you might be, what they'd be worth. Well, they can be your eyes and ears. In the time that property listed, it could be abandoned. The roof could have been blown off. It could be burnt to the ground. You just don't know, right? But I've been lucky so far, and I've found some good realtors that are willing to work with me. And in this Washington where I did the renovations, I picked a realtor that was close to the property. It was only a mile from the office. So as the carpet guy wants to go in and lay carpet, I kind of all did that for my office. I found this guy. He knew some guys. We just got guys, and he'd go unlock the door for them and lay the carpet. He was kind of my go-between, right? So I'd send him money. He'd pay the contractors. He'd pay the guy that mowed the grass, and he's a really good guy. Yeah. So, and you got to find those guys. And there's guys that are willing to do that. There's some that just want to do list it, sell it, gone. This guy, there's lots of guys out there that are more than willing to help you out. It takes me I work maybe 2 hours a day for maybe 2 weeks, like day weeks, right? So like 10 days, 2 hours a week, just doing the research, checking out these properties. And I got my year's salary kind of all wrapped up in a 2-week period. Other than the time frame by the time you get the deed to the time you actually have it on the market and get it sold. But yeah, it's crazy. I'll close probably this other Riverside one this year yet, and that'll be double my salary, or more than double my salary probably, because it's in US dollars. In this year, I'll probably clear maybe close to 500,000 US this year. I'm wishing I could share this with 100 other people, that are in a position where they could make themselves more financially independent, And everybody I run into, I tell them about this. All the realtors that I said, sign up for Ted, go visit Ted, go see what it's all about. You got to take action. There's no, get off your rusty dusty. I don't know if Ted still says rusty dusty. I haven't seen him in so long, but get off your rusty dusty and try it out for yourself. Don't go all in on your first one. Go pick something that you're comfortable with in your price range, in a decent area that you can sleep at night, and just do it. Go in there, get it done. You gotta, once you get that first one done, you'll say, oh, why have I been waiting so long to do this? Just get going. Just buy that first one. Yeah. Even go to a couple auctions. Go sit in on the online auctions. Sit in on them. Don't buy anything. Just sit in them. See how they go. Get a feel for the areas. And know how the process goes, so that when you're ready to buy, just get in there and buy. I'm getting to the point where I'm going to leave my day job very, very soon. I might try and stretch it out till 55, because then I'll have my pension and all that stuff, just because. And my daughter will be a little more further along in her education, more independent and that stuff. So I plan on doing tax deeds and liens, 2, maybe 4 a year type of thing. I always thought rentals would be my exit strategy from my day job, but now that I've found this tax deeds and liens, it's like, why do I have to deal with tenants, toilets, and trash, Ted? I don't know. Why do I need to do that? If I did one of these deals a year in my retirement, take 20 hours out of my beach life, I could double, or probably triple my retirement income that I'm from my pension. This is something you could do part-time. It never hurts to have multiple streams of income, especially in the economy that we have right now. You hear of CEOs that are getting fired and companies that are closing for no apparent reason, and oil prices are depressed, and you know, it's on and on and on. You know, there's no guarantee in any kind of job. So I'm a big fan of having the passive income, separate streams of income that really aren't related. And this is one of them. Take this training, take the TED training, understand how this is, and you can pounce on this anytime. You're having a shortfall of cash, or you know, you're not working as many hours at your work, or whatever you're thinking. You could always go down. You know, once you know how to do this, you learn how to do it. You can do this anytime. You don't have to do it every day. This is not an everyday thing. This could be, you know, once every 6 months, whenever you feel like it. Geez, I'd like a new motorhome. All right. All right, I better go buy another tax deed. So much work. Geez, we better buy a vacation home in Florida. Let's go see what's on the list today. Oh, look at this one. Well, let's buy this one, cents on the dollar. And it's a program available for everybody. You can do, you know, small deals. There's properties that sold for $1,500, $2,000. If you're in that market, that's fine. You know, you can turn $2,000 into $4,000 to $6,000 to $8,000. You just, you know, buy, sell, repeat. Buy, sell, repeat. Whatever market you happen to feel comfortable in, that's where you buy. You don't have to be buying these $100,000 properties. You can buy whatever your budget allows you to. There's a full range. You buy whatever you want. So this program should appeal to anybody in any income level or bracket. If you have the opportunity to go the in-person training on a live event that TED hosts, take that opportunity and look at your future in a different light. You know, like you may have thought you were, you know, just going to retire on a pension or a salary or the government pension, which is basically nothing these days. Have another look at this. You know, use some of your savings, your line of credit. You got lots of money in your house. You know, find a way to make this happen. You know, you will be so much more richly rewarded from, and it's not a lot of work, and anybody can do this. You don't need any special skills. You just need to, you know, do your due diligence, do your research, and be prepared. But like I said, you need to go to the live training event to get that insider information and personal coaching. Thank you, Ted.